Welcome to the Mega AI Quiz Part 1, 50 questions covering artificial intelligence and machine learning. The answer options have been fully randomized, so there is no pattern to guess. Pause the video whenever you need more time to think. Let's begin. Chapter 1, Artificial Intelligence, Questions 1 to 30. Question 1. What does AI stand for? A. Augmented interface. B. Automated intelligence. C. Artificial intelligence. D. Algorithmic integration. The correct answer is C. Artificial intelligence. AI stands for artificial intelligence, the simulation of human intelligence processes by machines, especially computer systems. Question 2. Which of the following is a real-world example of a A. A standard alarm clock. B. A calculator performing addition. C. A USB keyboard. D. A voice assistant like Alexa or Siri. The correct answer is D. A voice assistant like Alexa or Siri. Voice assistants use natural language processing and machine learning, two core branches of artificial intelligence. Question 3. Who is widely credited with proposing the Turing Test? A. Alan Turing. B. Marvin Minsky. C. John McCarthy. D. Geoffrey Hinton. The correct answer is A. Alan Turing. Alan Turing proposed the Turing Test in his 1950 paper Computing Machinery and Intelligence as a way to measure machine intelligence. Question 4. What is the main purpose of the Turing Test? A. To check if a machine can exhibit intelligent behavior indistinguishable from a human. B. To measure a computer's processing speed. C. To test internet connection stability. D. To evaluate a robot's physical agility. The correct answer is A. To check if a machine can exhibit intelligent behavior indistinguishable from a human. The Turing test checks whether a machine's conversational responses are indistinguishable from those of a human judge. Question 5. Which of these is not a branch of artificial intelligence? A. Spreadsheet computing. B. Natural language processing. C. Computer vision. D. Machine learning. The correct answer is A. Spreadsheet computing. Spreadsheet computing is a general software tool, not a branch of a ML, NLP, and computer vision are all major AI subfields. Question 6. What type of a can perform only one specific task? A. Narrow AI. B. General AI. C. Conscious AI. D. Super AI. The correct answer is A. Narrow AI. Narrow AI, also called weak AI, is designed for a single specific task like playing chess, recognizing faces, or filtering spam. Question 7. When was the term artificial intelligence first coined? A. 1943. B. 1956. C. 1969. D. 1981. The correct answer is B. 1956. John McCarthy coined the term artificial intelligence at the Dartmouth Conference in 1956. Question 8. What does a recommendation system on Netflix use to suggest shows? A. Alphabetical sorting. B. Manual curation by employees. C. Random selection. D. AI and machine learning algorithms. The correct answer is D. AI and machine learning algorithms. Netflix uses AI-powered collaborative filtering and content-based recommendation algorithms to personalize suggestions. Question 9. Which of the following best describes a chatbot? A. A type of search engine. B. A human customer service agent online. C. A physical robot that can talk. D. An AI program that simulates human conversation. The correct answer is D. An AI program that simulates human conversation. A chatbot is a software application that uses AI to simulate natural human conversation via text or voice. Question 10. What is training data in AI? A. Data stored in a backup cloud database. B. Data used to teach an AI model by exposing it to examples. C. The manual instructions coded into a computer. D. Data used to test a finished model. The correct answer is B. Data used to teach an AI model by exposing it to examples. Training data is the labeled or unlabeled dataset used during the learning phase to teach an AI model to recognize patterns. Question 11. What is the key difference between narrow AI and general AI? A. Narrow AI is hardware. General AI is software. B. Narrow AI is faster. General AI is slower. C. Narrow AI uses more data. General AI uses less. D. Narrow AI handles one task. General AI can perform any intellectual task a human can. The correct answer is D. Narrow AI handles one task. General AI can perform any intellectual task a human can. Narrow AI is task-specific. Artificial General Intelligence (AGI) would match human-level reasoning across all domains. It does not yet exist. Question 12. Which search algorithm uses a heuristic to estimate the cost to reach the goal? A. Breadth-first search. B. Depth-first search. C. Uniform cost search. D. Asterisk search. The correct answer is D. Asterisk search. Asterisk search uses a heuristic function hn to estimate the remaining cost, making it more efficient than uninformed search strategies. Question 13. In AI, what is a knowledge base? A. A hardware component for storing model parameters. B. A collection of facts and rules an AI uses to reason. C. A library of pre-trained neural network weights. D. A database of training images. The correct answer is B. A collection of facts and rules an AI uses to reason. A knowledge base stores structured facts and rules that an expert system or AI reasoning agent uses for inference and decision-making. Question 14. What is an agent in the context of a .I? A. An entity that perceives its environment and takes actions to achieve goals. B. A human operator controlling the AI system. C. A cloud computing pricing tier. D. A type of neural network layer. The correct answer is A. An entity that perceives its environment and takes actions to achieve goals. An AI agent perceives its environment through sensors and acts upon it via actuators to achieve its objectives. Question 15. What does P stand for in AI agent design? A. Parameters, execution, actions, state. B. Performance, environment, actuators, sensors. C. Processing, evaluation, algorithms, systems. D. Perception, execution, adaptation, search. The correct answer is B. Performance, environment, actuators, sensors. These describes an agent's task environment, performance measure, environment, actuators, and sensors. Question 16. Which of the following is an example of a fully observable environment? A. Poker. Cards are hidden from opponents. B. Stock market prediction. C. Driving in fog at night. D. Chess. Both players see the complete board. The correct answer is D. Chess. Both players see the complete board. In chess, both players can see the complete board state at all times, making it fully observable. Poker is partially observable. Question 17. What is uninformed search in AI? A. Search that uses no domain-specific knowledge beyond the problem definition. B. Search that ignores the goal state. C. Search done by untrained developers. D. Search without any training data. The correct answer is A. Search that uses no domain-specific knowledge beyond the problem definition. Uninformed or blind search strategies like BFS and DFS have no extra information about states beyond what is defined in the problem. Question 18. What is the key limitation of the Turing test as a measure of intelligence? A. It can only be run once per machine. B. It requires quantum computing hardware. C. It is too expensive and slow to conduct. D. It only tests text-based conversation, not all aspects of intelligence. The correct answer is D. It only tests text-based conversation, not all aspects of intelligence. The Turing test only measures conversational ability. It ignores reasoning, creativity, perception, and many other dimensions of intelligence. Question 19. In a constraint satisfaction problem CSP, what does arc consistency do? A. Eliminates domain values that cannot satisfy binary constraints between variables. B. Speeds up gradient descent in neural networks. C. Initializes weights in a deep learning model. D. Defines the heuristic function for a asterisk search. The correct answer is A. Eliminates domain values that cannot satisfy binary constraints between variables. Arc consistency removes values from a variable's domain that have no valid matching value in a neighboring variable's domain, reducing the search space. Question 20. Which property describes an AI agent that always takes the action expected to maximize its performance? A. Autonomous. B. Conscious. C. Rational. D. Reactive. The correct answer is C. Rational. A rational agent selects the action expected to maximize its performance measure given its current knowledge and perceptions. Question 21. What is the computational complexity class of the general Boolean satisfiability SAT problem? A. D. B. NP-complete. C. NP-hard but not NP-complete. E. E-space-complete. The correct answer is B. NP-complete. SAT was the first problem proven NP-complete by Stephen Cook's theorem in 1971. Every NP problem reduces to it in polynomial time. Question 22. In AI planning, what distinguishes PDDL from strips? A. They are identical. PDDL is just a newer name. B. Strips supports numeric fluence. PDDL does not. C. PDDL generalizes strips with typing, conditional effects, and numeric fluence. E. Strips is for robotics only. PDDL is for games. The correct answer is C. PDDL generalizes strips with typing, conditional effects, and numeric fluence. PDDL, planning domain definition language, extends strips with richer constructs including types, conditional effects, and numeric fluence, making it far more expressive. Question 23. Which AI concept involves updating beliefs based on new evidence using Bayes' theorem? A. Monte Carlo simulation. B. Value iteration. C. Bayesian inference. D. Forward chaining. The correct answer is C. Bayesian inference. Bayesian inference updates the probability of a hypothesis as new evidence arrives, combining prior beliefs with the likelihood of the evidence. Question 24. What is the frame problem in AI? A. The difficulty of scaling transformers to very long contexts. B. The problem of defining a coordinate frame for a robot arm. C. The difficulty of representing what does not change when an action is performed. D. The challenge of rendering 3D images in real time. The correct answer is C. The difficulty of representing what does not change when an action is performed. The frame problem is the challenge of efficiently specifying which aspects of the world remain unchanged after an action, a fundamental issue in knowledge representation and reasoning. Question 25. In game theory applied to AI, what is a Nash equilibrium? A. The optimal minimax outcome in zero-sum games. B. The state where one player always wins. C. The point where both players achieve maximum cooperative payoff. D. A state where no player can improve their outcome by unilaterally changing strategy. The correct answer is D. A state where no player can improve their outcome by unilaterally changing strategy. A Nash equilibrium is a stable state in a game where no individual agent can benefit by changing their strategy, given the strategies of all other agents. Question 26. What distinguishes a POMDP from a standard MDP in AI decision-making? A. MDPs are for robotics. POMDP are exclusively for NLP. B. POMDP have continuous action spaces. MDPs have discrete ones. C. POMDP always have exponentially larger state spaces. D. In a POMDP, the agent cannot directly observe the full state. It maintains a belief distribution instead. The correct answer is D. In a POMDP, the agent cannot directly observe the full state. It maintains a belief distribution instead. In a partially observable MDP, the agent cannot directly observe the true state. It maintains a probability distribution belief state over possible states and updates it as observations arrive. Question 27. Which theorem proves that no single search or optimization algorithm can outperform all others across every possible problem? A. The halting theorem. B. The no free lunch theorem. C. Gödel's incompleteness theorem. D. Bayes' theorem. The correct answer is B. The no free lunch theorem. The no free lunch theorem states that averaged over all possible problems, no algorithm outperforms any other. Gains on some problems are exactly offset by losses on others. Question 28. In first-order logic used in AI, what is unification? A. The process of merging two separate knowledge bases. B. The method of converting predicate logic to propositional logic. C. The algorithm that finds a substitution, making two logical expressions syntactically identical. D. The normalization of probability distributions across variables. The correct answer is C. The algorithm that finds a substitution, making two logical expressions syntactically identical. Unification finds the most general substitution of variables that makes two logical expressions syntactically identical. It is fundamental to logic programming and automated theorem proving. Question 29. What makes a heuristic admissible in an asterisk search? A. It is learned from training data via gradient descent. B. It never overestimates the true cost to reach the goal. C. It never returns a value of 0. D. It is always computed in constant time. The correct answer is B. It never overestimates the true cost to reach the goal. An admissible heuristic never overestimates the actual cost to reach the goal. This guarantees that an asterisk will always find the optimal solution. Question 30. Which correctly describes the difference between deductive and inductive reasoning in AI? A. Deductive guarantees true conclusions from true premises. Inductive generalizes from observations and may be wrong. B. They are identical, both generalize from specific to general observations. C. Deductive is used only in neural networks, inductive only in expert systems. D. Deductive draws probable conclusions from data. Inductive applies known rules to specific cases. The correct answer is A. Deductive guarantees true conclusions from true premises. Inductive generalizes from observations and may be wrong. Deductive reasoning is truth-preserving. Valid conclusions must follow from true premises. Inductive reasoning generalizes from examples and is not guaranteed to be correct. It underlies machine learning. Chapter 2. Machine Learning. Questions 31 to 50. Question 31. What is machine learning? A. Programming computers with explicit rules. B. Designing computer hardware for faster processing. C. Building physical robots that mimic humans. D. Enabling computers to learn from data without being explicitly programmed. The correct answer is D. Enabling computers to learn from data without being explicitly programmed. Machine learning is a subset of a where systems learn patterns from data and improve performance without being explicitly programmed for each task. Question 32. Which of the following is an example of supervised learning? A. Grouping customers by purchasing behavior. B. Reducing dimensions of a dataset. C. Predicting house prices from historical data. D. Detecting anomalies in network traffic. The correct answer is C. Predicting house prices from historical data. Predicting house prices uses labeled training data past prices with features, making it supervised learning. The others are unsupervised. Question 33. What does a label refer to in supervised learning? A. The name of the ML algorithm used. B. The correct output associated with each training example. C. The number of features in a dataset. D. The training set size. The correct answer is B. The correct output associated with each training example. A label is the correct answer or target output for a given input in supervised learning, for example spam or not spam for an email classifier. Question 34. Which type of ML learns by trial and error using rewards and penalties? A. Supervised learning. B. Unsupervised learning. C. Reinforcement learning. D. Transfer learning. The correct answer is C. Reinforcement learning. Reinforcement learning trains an agent by rewarding correct actions and penalizing incorrect ones, learning through interaction with an environment. Question 35. What is a feature in machine learning? A. The model's accuracy score. B. The final prediction made by the model. C. The number of training epochs. D. An individual measurable property or characteristic used as input. The correct answer is D. An individual measurable property or characteristic used as input. A feature is an individual measurable input variable, for example, age, height, or pixel value, used by the model to make predictions. Question 36. What does overfitting mean in machine learning? A. The model uses too many GPUs. B. The model memorizes training data and performs poorly on new, unseen data. C. The model trains too slowly. D. The model is too simple to learn any patterns. The correct answer is B. The model memorizes training data and performs poorly on new, unseen data. Overfitting occurs when a model learns the training data, including its noise, so well that it fails to generalize to new, unseen examples. Question 37. What is the purpose of a test set in ML? A. To evaluate the model's performance on unseen data. B. To train the model on new examples. C. To preprocess raw input data. D. To tune hyperparameters during training. The correct answer is A. To evaluate the model's performance on unseen data. The test set is held out completely during training and used only at the end to give an unbiased evaluation of how well the model generalizes. Question 38. Which algorithm draws a straight line to separate two classes? A. Decision tree. B. Random forest. C. Linear SVM. D. K-means clustering. The correct answer is C. Linear SVM. A linear SVM support vector machine finds the optimal straight line or hyperplane boundary that maximally separates two classes. Question 39. What does training a machine learning model mean? A. Installing the ML software on a computer. B. Adjusting model parameters so it learns patterns from data. C. Writing the model's source code. D. Running the model on test data. The correct answer is B. Adjusting model parameters so it learns patterns from data. Training means iteratively adjusting the model's internal parameters weights so it minimizes errors on the training dataset. Question 40. Which of the following is an unsupervised learning task? A. Email spam detection. B. Image classification. C. Customer segmentation using K-means. D. Sentiment analysis. The correct answer is C. Customer segmentation using K-means. K-means clustering groups customers by similarity without labeled data, making it unsupervised. The others require labeled training examples. Question 41. What is the purpose of the learning rate in gradient descent? A. To set the number of neurons in each layer. B. To determine the train/test split ratio. C. To control how much model weights change per update step. D. To define how many training epochs to run. The correct answer is C. To control how much model weights change per update step. The learning rate scales the gradient update. 2 large causes overshooting the minimum, 2 small causes very slow or stalled convergence. Question 42. What does the bias variance trade-off describe? A. The trade-off between CPU and GPU usage during training. B. The balance between model simplicity high bias and sensitivity to training data high variance. C. The trade-off between accuracy and training speed. D. The balance between precision and recall in classification. The correct answer is B. The balance between model simplicity high bias and sensitivity to training data high variance. High bias underfitting model too simple. High variance overfitting model too sensitive to training data. The trade-off is finding the sweet spot. Question 43. Which regularization technique can shrink some feature weights exactly to 0, performing feature selection? A. Batch normalization. B. Dropout. C. L1 lasso regularization. D. L2 ridge regularization. The correct answer is C. L1 lasso regularization. L1 lasso regularization adds the sum of absolute weight values to the loss, which can force some weights to exactly 0, effectively selecting features. Question 44. What is cross-validation used for in ML? A. To increase the size of the training dataset. B. To tune the learning rate automatically. C. To visualize high-dimensional data. D. To get a reliable estimate of model performance by averaging over multiple train/test splits. The correct answer is D. To get a reliable estimate of model performance by averaging over multiple train/test splits. Cross-validation, for example, k-fold repeatedly splits data into training and validation sets, averaging results to give a more reliable performance estimate. Question 45. Which metric is most appropriate for evaluating a classifier on a highly imbalanced dataset? A. Mean squared error. B. F1 score. C. Accuracy. D. R squared. The correct answer is B. F1 score. On imbalanced data, accuracy is misleading. A model predicting the majority class always gets high accuracy. F1 score balances precision and recall. Question 46. What is the purpose of a confusion matrix? A. To show the breakdown of correct and incorrect predictions across all classes. B. To display the loss curve during training. C. To visualize high-dimensional feature space. D. To compare multiple models side by side. The correct answer is A. To show the breakdown of correct and incorrect predictions across all classes. A confusion matrix shows true positives, true negatives, false positives, and false negatives, giving a detailed breakdown of classifier performance per class. Question 47. In a decision tree, what does information gain measure? A. The reduction in entropy disorder achieved by splitting on a particular feature. B. The number of leaves in the tree. C. The depth of the tree after splitting. D. The accuracy improvement after adding a new feature. The correct answer is A. The reduction in entropy disorder achieved by splitting on a particular feature. Information gain measures how much a feature split reduces uncertainty entropy in the target variable. Higher gain means a more useful split. Question 48. What is the key difference between bagging and boosting? A. Bagging trains models in parallel on random subsets. Boosting trains sequentially, each correcting errors of the previous. B. Bagging uses neural networks. Boosting uses decision trees. C. Bagging is for regression only. Boosting is for classification only. D. They are identical. Both train the same model multiple times. The correct answer is A. Bagging trains models in parallel on random subsets. Boosting trains sequentially, each correcting errors of the previous. Bagging, e.g., random forest trains models independently in parallel. Boosting, e.g., XGBoost trains sequentially, with each model focusing on errors of the prior one. Question 49. What does precision measure in a classification model? A. The overall percentage of correct predictions. B. The proportion of predicted positives that are actually positive. C. The proportion of actual positives correctly identified. D. The model's ability to generalize to new data. The correct answer is B. The proportion of predicted positives that are actually positive. Precision true positives/true positives plus false positives. It answers, of all instances the model labeled positive, how many were actually positive? Question 50. Which of the following best describes a hyperparameter? A. An output produced by the final layer of a model. B. Feature added to the input data. C. A setting configured before training that controls the learning process. D. A parameter learned from training data. The correct answer is C. A setting configured before training that controls the learning process. Hyperparameters, for example, learning rate, number of trees, regularization strength, are set before training begins, unlike parameters which are learned from data. That is the end of part 1. Count up your score and comment it below. Part 2 is coming next. Thanks for watching and see you there.